Okay, welcome back to my opinion. Um, it's still dark out, so that's why it looks like this. This little video is going to be about the FBI's raid on uh, President Trump's um, Mar-a-Lago home in Florida. We all know that the FBI has been very rogue here lately. Um, Goes back to the Mueller reports, turned out to be totally false, totally fabricated. Uh, Up until now, grabbing conservatives. Meanwhile, nothing to see with Hunter Biden. They have basically become politicized and they are acting as the Gestapo now for the Democrats. Raiding the president's home, an ex president's home, has never been done before. No need to have done it. And no need now to be raiding Donald Trump's home, one of his homes. And why that one? And, the biggest question is, what do they hope to find? Do they really think? They can't possibly really think that Donald Trump actually was trying to get this band of, misfits to come to a rally on January 6th and then overthrow the Capitol. I mean, first off, the people who ran into the Capitol and broke windows and stole Nancy Pelosi's uh, podium and put their feet up on certain senators' desks and stuff like that. The only person that got killed at the January 6th rioting was one of them, an unarmed woman, by the way. Good job there, Capitol police officer that shot an unarmed woman through a door she couldn't get through. You are a real hero, scumbag. I hope you live with that for the rest of your life, because you know the truth behind that. But the FBI, I mean, and doing this whole, certain symbols like the Betsy Ross flag is a sign of terrorism or possible terrorism. Not having the flag alone, but, if you say things like this video or talk on Facebook about stuff and have the Gadsden flag, you might be a terrorist. Things like that. I mean, they're acting as a Gestapo. Not much different than Hitler's Third Reich in the beginning. The FBI really needs to be reined in and investigated, and some people need to be fired. There needs to be a reorganization of, these, especially the FBI, but all of these rogue federal agencies, the ATF, the IRS, hiring tens of thousands of more IRS people. Yeah, they're just going to go after the millionaires, though. Don't worry. Bullshit. They're going to go after, people who owe $200. They're going to come knocking on your door and want that $200. A lot of people say, well, if you're doing your taxes and everything, then what do you have to worry about? Anytime an agency, a federal agency, grows like that, you should be worried. You should be concerned. That's not legitimate. The problem is, the reason you should be worried is they're growing exponentially. That means more stormtroopers to come knocking on your door. Look at, it wasn't IRS, of course, but Oliver Stone. I mean, this is an old man. They came busting through his doors at 6 a.m. For what? What could he have possibly had? it's just went to the extreme now. Raiding an ex-president's home, one of his homes. What are you hoping to find, guys? I mean, really, seriously, this needs to be asked. I hope Ted Cruz drags the FBI into hearings and starts really seriously investigating the FBI and the FBI director and some possible jail time. Because they're violating people's rights. Illegal search and seizure. How did you get a warrant to go to an ex-president's house to raid looking for something that we all know is ridiculous? That Trump, on the day of, decided he was going to overthrow the Capitol, overthrow Congress, and get a bunch of misfits from the internet to come to his rally and then proceed to even though he didn't go anywhere near it, and he never said anything about overthrowing any government. Oh, and don't forget, they all forgot to bring their guns. I think there was a few here and there that had guns, but they just were wearing them, for their Second Amendment right. I think they were Second Amendment advocates. So, and that's not illegal, by the way, for those of you wondering. What they did going into the Capitol, etc. was. And maybe, the FBI raiding an ex-president's home for ridiculous reasons should be illegal too. Well, it is illegal. And hopefully it'll be investigated and some heads will roll, especially the FBI director. And they need to start going after these politicians, these liberal Democrat politicians, Nazis. There, you want to call people Nazis? You're acting way more like Nazis than anybody else has, so you want to throw that word around. I mean, nobody else is using the Gestapo to their discretion. But yeah, some of these politicians need to be reined in too. Using the FBI to, all they're doing is they're trying to keep Trump in whatever way they can. They'd blackmail him if they could. They're scumbags. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, they're just dirtbags. And probably Mitch McConnell. He's probably right in there with them. Remember, he was on that little secret committee when Trump was running the first time to try to keep Trump out. Let's not forget that. He's not exactly, these rhinos are pretty bad too. There needs to be some investigation on some of these politicians. Apparently they can't get voted out no matter what kind of crap they pull. Begs the question, how does Mitch McConnell get reelected 30 years? Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. I see why they do. They cater to the morons, the liberal morons. But, yeah, I mean, wow. They better have some really good reasons for going after, searching Trump's home. I want to hear some good reasons. Not, well, we thought there might have been. No, I want to hear, here's the evidence we have. Here's why we went to his house. I don't want to hear he said, she said. Inside sources told us, what is it they always use? The people who are undercover informants and all that shit. No. Not when it's the U.S. president. This is an overthrow of democracy. An attempted coup. They are using the FBI as their Gestapo for an attempted coup of a president that might run again and might win. That's what they're doing. All right, like, share, and subscribe. Be safe and stay safe.